Hello, everyone. Welcome into the room. Come on in. How are you guys doing today? How has your Friday been? Mine is going absolutely well today. I bought a bike this week and I rode it for the first time today. And I haven't rode a bike since I was in high school. Like, have y'all, do any of y'all own a bike? Have y'all rode a bike? Give me a raise of hands if y'all have a bike. It was hard as hell. It was one of the hardest things that I've done in a very long time. But it was a good workout and all that good stuff. So today we are going to be talking to Kim Kimble. If you guys don't know who she is, jump off real quick and Google her and then come on back. But you're going to learn all about her today with this conversation. And I'm so excited to talk to her, and I see that she is in the room. So let's get this started. Uh-oh. You better give me texture. How are you?
Right. Girl, give you some quarantine hair, baby. Some coronavirus hair. This is an easy sweep her up, do, honey.
Well, it's super cute.
Throw it together while she's at the grocery store standing in that hot line, honey. Woo, how are you?
I am well. How are you doing, Kim? I see they locking y'all down for 3 more months, child.
Isn't that crazy? They doing us wrong out here, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm actually working on just creating some other things, and it's giving me a moment to collect and read. Listen, I'll take it positive, even though it seems really, but I'll be honest with you, I'm too scared to be out there, child, and I don't want to catch no coronavirus.
Me neither. We open, but my salon is still not open yet.
And we too close, honey. I ain't got time for it. I mean, it's making me very nervous. I mean, as much as I miss doing hair, I found myself, I've gotten, first month I was a little bored. I got myself busy now. I'm jumping on doing these lives and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm staying just as busy as I was when I wasn't. I'm not getting no more sleep, which I thought I was going to be getting, but I ain't mad at it.
So wait, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something I never told you.
What?
So I remember I first met you 100 years ago on Being Mary Jane. On the set of Being Mary Jane. And I forgot who I came. I think I came up with a Colari Parker or something. I forgot who I was there with. But I met you there, and I was like, I want to work on set. You're like, okay, great. We exchanged information. And then one day you called, or you had somebody call and was like, hey, we're going to need some additional people for this day. Can you come? I'm like, oh my God, yes. I'm like, y'all, Kim Kimble called me, girl. Then I ain't hear back from you, child. I was like, but this is before I understood how set shit work and how things
changed. We might didn't need it.
Right. But I was just like, I was mad at you for a long time. I was like, man, she is so funny acting. But then we met each other. Then we met again. And I was like, oh, child, whatever.
Derek, I might have forgot, child. Or maybe I may have put it in somebody. A lot of times I'll put that in someone else's hands and have them call. And maybe we didn't even need it. It may have canceled. But
now that I've been working on set, I was like, oh, anything could have happened. No, don't tell them what all this was.
Because you know me, I was love me some Derek J, honey.
So Kim, talk to me about your career. Now I know you are you second generation hair or third generation hair?
Third.
Okay.
My mother and my grandmother.
And so you've been doing this for a very long time. Now, when you started out, did your mother or grandmother take it to the next level, or were they just salon stylists?
My grandmother was more like, she actually helped my mother get her first salon. She worked in there, but she was really about growing people's hair. My mother took it to the next level. She's the one that moved to LA. She's the one that told me about working in television and film, because she had met someone, or she read about somebody here in LA. She moved from Chicago. And this woman was doing hair in movies, and she worked in her salon. And at that time, it was really hard to get in. So she didn't really get in at that time. But what I will say is that, she had that desire, and she kind of put that into me, which is how I knew about it. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, oh, okay. let's do this.
So now but you're a salon stylist first, right?
Yes, I was a salon stylist, fantasy hair competition stylist, platform artist, honey, before I even got into the entertainment industry, because I fell in love with that too. I was like, ooh, I love this whole hair show, Rana Brothers, all of that. I was such a fan of Rana Brothers. You know, when I first got into business, I heard about it. I heard about the show in London, the alternative show. So I said, I'm going to try. You know, I'm going to do it all.
Now, do you see yourself falling back on some of those skills you learned then in your creating?
Absolutely. When I did Wrinkle in Time, that movie, and I got to bring out some of my fantasy hair, I was like, come on, I got this, honey. Let's go. What we doing?
And it's like, you know, and don't it feel good when you finally get to pull that stuff? Like, you like, oh, please, that's nothing. You're like, oh, you want to do that? Oh, child,
well,
please.
I ain't gonna say it wasn't nothing, though. But because I had experience in fantasy hair creative, I didn't feel intimidated by trying. The only thing that was hard to really narrow down, it's always hard to create fantasy hair. And this is the difference. I usually would build it on the day of. I had to build it all on a wig before. You know, I put it on their hair. I mean, we did, of course, the camera test. But the difference is I'm building it as I'm going. This, I have to have it already ready and put it on. So that was the only difference. But, you know, I love a challenge, baby. I'll take a challenge. Let's go.
Now, did you ever think that Kim Kimble will be the name that you have to have all these celebrities calling on?
You know, when I got into business, I just loved doing hair. I wasn't really looking out to be a celebrity hairstylist. I got blessed. I did want to work in movie and film, but I didn't even understand really what celebrity hairstylist was yet. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of how it became, celebrity hairstylist, you know, but I really wanted to, I love doing hair, and I wanted to work in film. I loved working with wigs. I loved doing like period hair, 20s, 30s. I love doing all of that. So I really had a great opportunity. And it's been an exciting career, I have to say. And I feel very blessed and fortunate because I don't know what the future holds now. How is hair going to be now on set?
Right.
I don't think it's going to be the same.
At all.
When I used to have my teams of hair and hair people come in and you know, now they so scary. They don't want all them background people and all this going on. And I don't know. It's going to be so different. And I'm so concerned about, but you know, sometimes you have to change and you have to adjust. And I definitely think it's such a great opportunity for something new and different. And I'm kind of want to see where we're going to go with it. But there is a little bit of, you know, I don't want to say fear, but angst about change. Things are going to, I don't think we're ever going to go back to being exactly the same. How can we? So many people have lost people. I'm so sad about Charles Gregory. I just met him. I've met him before, but we really didn't get a chance to talk a lot. We only talked like over the phone, and we knew each other. We're running the same circles. But I went up to Canada when he was doing Lady Sing the Blues, and I just had to tell the story because I never really got to work with him that much, and I didn't know him that much. But we were up there, and we were sharing secrets. He was showing me stuff that he did, and she showed me how to do these time card app things, and I said, "Wow, this is so cool." That I'm learning something from him. It was only a quick time. And, you know, we laughed, we took pictures, we had so much fun. You know, we was like, damn, I wish we could work together on a project. We said, hopefully we'll get to work together. And unfortunately, you know, I was really sad to hear what happened to him. But I'm glad that I had that time to really get to meet him and really get to know him as a person and share that, you know, our little moment. Because he gave me some really great you know, apps to download, like time card apps, script breakdown apps, and then he showed me how he did his wigs with this little wiry thing, which I've seen it, but I never, you know, actually got to use it myself. And he told me where to get them from, so it was really cool. We're sharing it. That's my mother over here trying to get in my stuff. She'd be like, "This mine? No, we're sharing it." Dang.
I mean, but that's good. So you're still open to learning, and you're still open to
live for it, love for it. It's something about being a stylist and learning something new. Because things get, come on, Derek, you know, we've been in this business for a minute. Things get sterile, they get old, they get dry, they get so it's always exciting to continue to learn and grow. You know what I mean?
Now, so let's talk about so you were in the salon doing your thing, and then what did you go to TV and film first? You got your first celebrity client, or they kind of work simultaneously?
Kind of simultaneously. I started TV and film. I was telling somebody yesterday, my first celebrity client was actually a man, and I was cutting hair on one, Harry Lennox. I cut his hair, and then I did Wesley Snipes manicure, pedicure in the barbershop. That was actually technically the first, but when I did BAPS, that was kind of like my first real, oh wow, I'm working with celebrities. Then I met Brandy right after that, worked on Moesha and Garcelle on Jamie Foxx show, and then it just started moving on, and I worked with so many celebrities early on in my career, but I met a lot of them in film, you know, because I used to work on a lot of those films.
So let's talk about BAPS. Now, how does it make you feel that BAPS still is standing the test of time? Like, especially for the hair creations that came out of it, that still in 2020, people are still referring back to the looks in BAPS.
It was so cool because I saw on Insecure, they did a little throwback. She had the little BAPS outfit on, the BAPS hair, and I have to give a shout out to Yvette. She did the little BAPS hair, you know what I mean? And it was so cool because I actually showed Robert Townsend pictures of hair shows that I had done. So it was actually stuff I had done already. And it was such a great experience. That was my first crash course of learning. Okay, now you got to do this hair piece, but you also have to do a double. Tried to match it for the stunt double, and I had to have a duplicate in case something happened to the one that, you know, I had to do like, so I had to like assembly line, make all these hair pieces. That's how I used to do. I used to make pieces, and then I put them all together, right? And then I had to make one that fell. There's one scene where they were in the big audition with a video, and the hair all fell down like that, and the little booyah was all warped in the back. It was fun though. I really enjoyed that technical part of all that, the challenge of doing that.
Yeah, so people don't really understand the movie magic. They think it's like, no, like when you do stuff like that, you gotta have duplicates, you gotta have triplets, you gotta have you gotta have the progression of it. It's just so many things that go along with creating those looks. But that BAPS is a movie that goes down in time for for the creativity when it comes down to hair. And you know, and I'm just happy to know that a Black woman was behind that, getting that stuff created and making it pop.
Yeah, no, I was really blessed to get that opportunity. It was me and another hairstylist actually, because Natalie DeSalle, which is a really great friend of mine, she didn't know me at the time, and she had another hairstylist, and she wanted that hairstylist. And her hairstylist was a hairstylist who, you know, from Detroit, who did all that cool like hair. And she's like, no, you gotta use him. Don't use her. You know, so it was like a thing. But what happened was, because he didn't have his license, he couldn't do it. And you have to have a license in the state of California. He might have had one in Detroit, but you got to be licensed in the state of California to work in our union, because it was the opportunity to get in the union. That was my opportunity. So I was praying, God, please let me get picked, you know. And I got picked, and the rest is history. I started there. That's how I met Beyonce, through a movie from the same production company, and producers hired me to do Carmen Jones, the hip hopper, and that's where I met her. And her mother was still doing her hair at the time, and so, but you know, she was, you know, also, you know, their stylist and getting them ready for the you know, videos and stuff, because they were still doing their other thing. And then afterwards, she did Austin Powers, which they hired me for Austin Powers, because I'd worked with her before. And that's kind of after that is when I started working with her on a regular basis.
That's why I like having these conversations, because nobody knew all this. People think as always that people just pop up from nowhere. They be like, oh, Kim Kimble, she just started 5 years ago. It's like, no,
baby, we almost going on 30 years. I may look spring chicken dish, honey. No wrinkles yet. You can see a little bit of the gray. I got to get this color. I'm gonna color it. I might do it tomorrow. I don't feel like coloring my hair. Like, I don't feel like it, but I gotta color, you know. But yeah, she not a spring chicken.
But you're still creating trend-setting things. Yeah. So like, how do you stay on the trends? Like, how do you stay current?
I love to create things. I love to think outside the box. Sometimes it gets you in trouble. Sometimes people criticize your work, but I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Sometimes, and also too, my clients challenge me. Like Beyonce, she'll challenge me. She'll say, "Hey, I need Ivy Park beads in my braids. That's what I need." And I'm like, okay, let's go. Or sometimes I have this wild idea. Oh, let's do pink braids to the ground, honey. You know, I just have a lot of different, I love to think outside the box. I love to take chances because I used to do a lot of hair shows and I used to go to a lot of hair shows. It really helped me be creative and it helped teach me how to create hairstyles that, you know, helped me think out, because I had to think outside the box to win a competition. Yes. It's a creative kind of thing. And so I really enjoy the challenge, you know, and I always like to be challenged. And I thank God for my career early on, because the first 4 of my years I worked in a salon and I went to hair shows and I took classes and I would come back and experiment on my clients. I was like, oh, let's do this. I learned this. And they would be so excited. Oh, okay, let's go. And so, and they were like celebrities because they would go in there. I've been and swooped and duped their hair, all kind. I was doing crazy stuff on there. I don't know why they let me do all of that. And but they loved it because they got so much attention. They'd be like, Kim Kimble did my hair, you know.
Now, you said something important earlier. I want to come back to what you said about the license thing. Now, a lot of people, because of social media now, it kind of has been watering down our industry and allowing people to get in and do things that necessarily doesn't have the experience to create and do. Well, they have the experience to create, but they don't have the knowledge to go along with it. They don't have the foundation, basically. But how important to you is it about having that foundation, being a licensed stylist, going to hair school, understanding, I can put this wig on, but I understand how to take care of your hair underneath the wig. Like, how important is that for you?
It is. First of all, let me just say I'm so grateful that I've had that training and all that background. It has made me such a versatile stylist. I can do a lot. So, because I didn't know I was going to be going into film and television, which you need to be versatile because you don't know what you're going to do. I mean, it's going to keep you stand between you maybe getting a job. You're versatile. Like, listen, I wouldn't have got Babs if I didn't know how to do the crazy hair. You know what I mean? I don't think that's why he hired me, because he was looking for a stylist who could create that. And in the union, they have a union of hairstylists they can hire. They went outside of that to find someone to do that because they know it's not a common thing. And so the more you know, the more you learn, the better you are. That's one thing. Plus, I wouldn't have got the job if I did not have my license. The license made the difference between me and someone else getting that job. Now, I've been bashed for talking about people who don't have licenses, who kind of, you know, and let me just clear up a little bit. I'm not a messy person, but I don't like people that try to come for me. If you don't have the conditions to back it up, don't come for me. That's just how I feel about it. I feel like respect, learn is important. And because I'm a seasoned stylist, I can work with wigs, I can color hair, I can cut it. I don't have to fake to style it. I can create a building on hair. I can do so many different things with hair. And once you get that license, you still also got to educate yourself. And there are some really talented people who don't have license that are doing hair. They're talented, hands down. I'm not taking that away from them. But it's something about having that credential that listen, I also understand how to be clean with people's hair, because they teach you that in school. I understand trichology, how to, like you said, take care of someone's hair so don't fall out their hair, how to work with chemicals. You know, people, it's easy to you burn up a wig, no one will ever see it.
Right.
But it's easy to burn up somebody's hair or with a chemical if you don't know what you're doing. I think it's absolutely critical and important. And that's why they feel that we're not essential. So that's why they're not letting us come back to work, because we have to fight for this professionalism to be respected in hair. And I do, and I think that it's important because they're already trying to take away in some states having to be licensed and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't think that it's right. And listen, we're up there with the doctors. Let me tell you something. I don't know how many people don't want to leave the house because they can't get their hair done right now. Come on now. Don't try to act like we're not important. Even
well, you know what?
Life or death, no. But it's something about self-esteem. Great hair equals confidence, and you want to look good. You know, like I'm not going to come on here looking like a chicken head. I wouldn't want to look back at myself and be like, oh, I look like a chicken head right now.
Well, I would say this. Johnny Wright said something to me, which I knew this, but when he verbalized it, I was like, oh, you are absolutely right. He said that we are one of the few industries that have a license to touch. You know, and I think he said that, you know, people, we don't take that into consideration. It's not many. It's like doctors, it's dentists, it's hairstylists, it's massage therapists. It's really a few of us that have a license to actually touch a person, you know. And I'm with you on that. I would when you spoke out, I wasn't mad at it. I was like, repos, repos.
Well, do it again, honey. Come on now.
Well, because at the end of the day, it's just like you said, we have to. We don't go to hair school to learn how to do hair. We go to hair school to understand how to, like you said, be sanitary, how to work with chemicals, how to maintain the hair that's on somebody's head. That's why we go to hair school. You could go learn hair anywhere else, but it's all this. It's a foundation you gotta have.
Listen, let me tell you something. The reason I started retailing and selling wigs, I didn't come in this business to be a wig seller. I started doing it and also doing it on people's hair to, first of all, to save and protect their hair. But I started getting some people calling me because their hair was being ripped out by people who are braiding their hair. You know, most of them not licensed because you don't have to have a license to do braids. You know, and I love braids, but then you need to also learn that, hey, there's something with tension and how when the hair grows out of the follicle, it doesn't all grow at the same time. So if you're doing tight braids, it is growing out. This is going to get all pulled out. And so I had a lot of people with just damage from chemical, people trying to do their hair at home, ruining their hair. So wigs became a big deal in my salon because people were looking for, oh, I know you do wigs. I've seen you do it on LA Hair. I see you do it on celebrities. I need a wig because my hair is falling out. Right? So that's what I started. That's why I started it, because it was a need for it. And I think that, you know, and it's because some people just, you know, listen, you pay for what you get. And also, I just want to encourage the stylists, be professional. Act like you're a doctor. I used to have all my little certificates when I did my classes up on my wall at my station. So this is why, you know, when I did my little extra charge a little more when you see my little certificates up there, because, you know, that's like me furthering my education like a doctor does. You know?
Now, so let's talk about, well, you were doing hair, you do your celebrity. So let's talk about the switch over to television. Now that you're not behind the scenes no more. Now you're in front of the cameras.
Listen, that was what you definitely couldn't tell me I was going to be doing. I didn't really consider myself a TV personality, you know. I was like, you know, I'm like, I didn't feel like I had that flamboyantness that you see some people have on TV. And I just was like, well, and, you know, I was actually I love being I used to produce my own hair shows. So I thought, I love to produce. So I was actually trying to produce and create a show. I didn't necessarily think I had to be in it, though. You know what I mean? And so when someone came to me, and because I tried to produce something and I got turned down. And then I kind of just said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about this. I don't know, because I was busy doing clients. I was like, I don't know if this is something I need to be doing, right? And then someone came to me and says, are you open? We would like to give you an opportunity to pitch a TV show about a hair salon. I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. I'm like, sure, okay, whatever. I said, yeah, you know, they were nice. I'll try it, you know. And next thing I know, they're like, oh, we're going to shoot a sizzle reel. They came to the salon, did a little sizzle reel. And I'm like, this is not going to happen, whatever. How about when I was in Atlanta working on Let's Stay Together on a TV show, and I got a call and they said, oh, because they introduced me to a production company, and so I went and met them and did all of that. But then and normally I would go out to meetings and pitch and stuff like that, but then I got a call and they said, "Oh, your show got picked up by WeTV and they're interested in doing a show about your salon." And I was like, "What?" I was nervous too because you know how dramatic those reality shows are, and I knew being in a salon, being around stylists, it was going to be drama. I had a brand. I was nervous. I said, "Oh God, I don't want to mess with my brand. I got a great reputation." I didn't know what to think. I thought there were going to be cameras, people in the bush with cameras everywhere, child, at my house. Are they going to be at my house? I don't know. So I was nervous, but I'm a risk taker, and I said, "I'm going to do it." And I don't regret it at all. I think it was one of the greatest experiences and opportunities that I've ever had, because when I see people now and they're like, "Oh, I love your show. I miss your show. And I'm inspired by you." I was definitely, WeTV let me be me. You know what I mean? They didn't change me or try to change me. I mean, of course they were drama, but hey, that was natural. Sometimes you could, it was inevitable sometimes. And then I think I did more good than harm. You know what I mean? And people really liked it. Now, some other people may have some drama issues on there, and they may not have been happy when I came out. I don't know what to say about that one. But what I will say,
that's what you signed up for.
Exactly. And listen, and they would do it again if the opportunity came back around. But I think that what makes me okay with it is because people were inspired. Oh, I went to beauty college because you inspired me, and people were so happy. And I thought it was drama, but it was funny. It was everything I think it should have been, and I don't regret it. I would do it again. I would do a new one. I'd do something different. And so I worked in trying to create something else. And it may have the opportunity. It's just having to find it's just the right time, God's timing. That was God's timing. It was nothing that I did. That dropped in my lap. It happened so fast. I had to sign the papers, and I don't even think I really had a chance to have a really good thought about it. I just said, yes, let's go. And next thing I know, it's happening. And so like I said, I think it was great. And because you were on Atlanta Housewives, which is a great franchise. That's a great. You got blessed with a great show.
Yeah, and what I learned a lot about TV, because you think like a lot of stuff. Like when people, because I know people probably say, "Is this scripted? Is it scripted?" It's like it's not scripted, but it's heavily produced. Now they produced the hell out your ass, but it ain't scripted though. But it was also a great experience. I think because now it allowed you to be able to be in front of lots of people, and now that you can you can really share your voice, and you'll put it in the place that you really want to put it into. And that's the part I really appreciate about being on it now.
And you did a movie.
I did a movie called Good Hair. Yes, I did.
Now, Kimble ain't did no movie, honey. Come on, movie. I need.
Well, you know what, though, Kim? But that was a trick, though, girl. We didn't know we was doing a movie. They told us.
Hilarious.
They told us that it was a documentary for HBO. That's all they told us. And we like, oh, okay. So we were doing it as it was a documentary. And then when it was like
a documentary movie,
it was but they
didn't lie.
Yeah, but they didn't lie.
That was a blessing,
when they had a full rollout and stuff, we was like, wait, what the hell? Because mind you, none of us got paid for that.
I got some of them too, but I ain't gonna go there, honey. It happens. It happens. Oh, they turned that into a movie? Wow, okay, that's good. I probably would do it anyway, though.
I would have did it too. But we didn't know.
Exposure. I'm not mad at it.
Oh yeah, I wasn't mad at it. But I was like, well, damn. I was like, y'all.
It would have been nice to know, because I could have been cuter that day. I could have had more hair going on. You could have had high heels on, honey.
Right.
A cute bag, honey, walking around.
So let's talk about. So now you created some amazing stuff with Beyonce. Like she is the biggest artist in the world. So how do you get, like, this is asking me some tricks. I mean, you gotta tell me if you don't want to, but like, I know she wear wigs, but how does it look so real? And then on top of that, it's all these rumors, like, Beyonce wig costs $10,000. Beyonce wig costs $20,000. Beyonce wigs, you can't afford to get a Beyonce wig. But how do you make them look so amazingly real?
I mean, listen. It's a lot of work, a lot of preparation. Everything is is planned. Some things, very few things that are by accident. I go already with a plan, with it. You know, I try to get as much information ahead of time. And she's very good with hair. You know, like she's good at explaining about what she wants. She's very involved in what she wants to wear and how she wears her hair too. And sometimes it's a collaboration. But her mother's a hairdresser. I have a little running joke. I call her frustrated hairstylist sometimes. Because she's so good with hair too. I said, you want to be a hairstylist. You want to be I tease her like that. Yeah, she's very creative. She's like what do you call it? Chameleon too. You can create different things on her and it looks great. And so, she gives me the opportunity to be able to do different things, and she's open for different things. That makes a difference. Some people don't want to change. Some people want a specific look, and some people can't pull everything off. She's one of those people, like Zendaya is one of the people that you could do anything on her, and it's like a model. They pretty much own it. Like whatever it is, it could be a bird sitting right here, and then they like, yes, it looks fierce. They make it look fierce. And I don't know how they do that. But also, it is a lot of work and preparation. It's not nothing store-bought, nothing like that. It's got to be made. It's got to be custom colored. It's got to be custom done because it is, it's got to be, I like that. It's like a designer's creating a look for a person and designing that signature thing. And I think it's so important to do that. I try to do that with as many clients as I can. Give them that look, a distinctive look of their own.
So how long would it take you to prepare for that? Like, how many months in advance do y'all start before it's time to do something?
It just depends. If it's a project, like an album project, it could be a couple of months, could be a month, it could be a couple of weeks, it could be a couple of days. I've not always had the luxury of doing like the movie. We had 2 months to prepare for, but not always. It might be a month. I did Dreamgirls with Beyonce too, and that was, I think we prepared like a month and a half before. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare. Regular time, I had 2 months. That was the longest I've ever had to prepare for something. But, I think Coachella, we did a couple weeks, 3 weeks to prepare. So it's all, and because, when I do stuff like that, it's not just her, it's her and her band and her dancers. And so it's a whole team effort and it's a whole thing. And I love those opportunities because like I said, I love a challenge, and I like working with teams, and I like working with, just things that are just out of the ordinary, something different, taking it to the next level. Super Bowls. We've done Super Bowls together. I just did Shakira's Super Bowl, and that was fun. And it was so crazy. I'd done like 2 or 3 Super Bowls. Well, I did 5 Super Bowls, but 3 of them were with the team. The other one were just one person. But having that experience is so great. So when you work with another client, it's like, oh, okay, I can handle this. I can manage this. Then I don't feel intimidated. I take it on,
So you repeat, like you saying these things that you've done. How does that make you feel? Like, I did 5 Super Bowls and I did Dreamgirls. I did how does that make you feel as a hairstylist?
I feel blessed, honestly blessed, because I listen. It's not my mistake. I prayed for this. God pretty much ordained me for this. This is what he did for me. This is what he does it for. It can do it for anyone. But I did pray and I asked for him. But I also feel like he put the desire in my heart to do it, and he built me to be able to manage it and handle those kind of things. And it's great to be able to say it, because I have so many great memories. I can look back and say, oh, look, I could go back and look at my work now that with Instagram and social media and internet, you can always see, you go back and reminisce on the stuff that you did. Because some of the stuff earlier in my career, the pictures got ruined in rain, and I don't know if I'll ever find those pictures again, you know what I mean? But this is an opportunity that I get to see it, and it's just great. Maybe it's stories I can tell my grandkids. My son don't care, but maybe my grandkids. He's not into hair. His hair is grown out now. He's a little bit into it now, but he's not really into hair like that. I said, God, just give me a boy who ain't gonna care nothing about no hair.
Now you are creative, so this is a 2-part question. So have you did something on a client and you like, this is the shit. We got this. I killed this. And then she goes out to the public and it don't have the same response. And then vice versa, where you did something, you was like, girl, we rushed. I got it done. In your mind, you're like, I got it done. And then you go, they're like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. This is beautiful. You like, I did this in like 5 minutes. Like, so have you had those experiences?
Yes, I've had some quick, easy hairstyles that turned out pretty good and it was simple. And that actually kind of came out nice, you know? I did something on Beyonce red carpet years ago. I slicked her hair back in a bun and created this bun and did a braid around it. It was so simple and fast to do. And I was like, oh, that's one of my probably favorite looks. But then I've done some stuff and we had to rush and do it. It didn't come out so great. It might have passed and didn't make it on the 911 hair tragedy list.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, it's not far, in my opinion. And I have made it on there too. I've been criticized for a couple of things like, oh, this was wrong. Because, you know, and people don't understand, sometimes you got to rush. There's no time. You might have had 5 minutes, or that person decided, oh, I want this. And, you know, sometimes you don't have time to argue with nobody. You're just trying to get them done, you know? And sometimes you don't want to argue with them. If this is what you want, this is what you want. That's what they pay you for. This is your job. And there's been times where I've worked on something and and it's amazing and I loved it, you know, and I'm so proud of that, you know. I've had a little bit of each experience, I'll say. There's been some I'm like, even as fast, I'm like, I don't know about that. First of all, I'm a huge critic. I have actually done people's hair, tore it down about 2 or 3 times and redid it. I probably driven some people a little nuts, like, is she gonna take this down again and do it again? Because I'm such an anal, like, I need it to be perfect. And, you know, like people that work with me and we're doing stuff together, and like my assistants that are doing stuff, I said, oh, it's not right. Color it again. I don't like it. The color's not right. Take it down. Oh, no. Do it over. I don't like it. I don't know. Probably like, she is good about it. But I'm crazy like that with myself even. So I'm a little crazy when it comes to hairstyles a little bit. And I don't know. I'm picky. And so some stuff I'm probably very hard on myself anyway. And I'd be like, it's just, I wish I could have did this different. There's always that, I wish I could have had a little more time. Or I would have liked to done that over. There's that. And there's sometimes like, you know what? This is all I could do right now. Yeah. As I get older, that's how it's becoming more and more like, you know what? I'm going to live with this. Let's not drive ourselves crazy. Let's make this easy. You know how it is. You know, listen, I've had my all-nighters and my working on this all night. Now it's like, yeah.
This is what I got for you.
Let's keep this real simple. Let's not drive ourselves crazy, honey, with this.
Now, who are some of your mentors in the hair industry? Wow. Or people that you met, or people that you, when you were coming up, you're like who was your Kim Kimble for you?
Well, listen, my first mentor was really my mom. She taught me a lot about hair, color, and all that kind of stuff. Madam C.J. Walker, I looked at some of the things, because now, which I'm not just hair, but entrepreneurship, because I've, you know, turned my hair into an also entrepreneur business. Vida Sassoon, baby. I loved those bobs. And I actually, for years, I was trying to figure out how to cut hair. That was the one thing was hard for me to get in the beginning, cutting hair. And I went to Vida Sassoon school, and I feel like, oh, now I got it. Haircut. They're the best to me in terms of teaching people how to cut hair. But the way he took a look and changed it and revolutionized how hair is done, which the bob is still like popular. It ain't really going nowhere. It's like stood the test of time. He's also an entrepreneur, so I really loved. I didn't have a lot of. I mean, I worked like in a salon with my mom and some of her stylists, so I learned a little bit from each person that I worked for. Assisted, like this lady named Nikki. I used to love her style, and I wanted to be like her. And Margie taught me how to weave hair in the salon, and Ellis, you know, and Muhammad. They all had different things that I would take away from them. You know, and this was the people that worked in the salon with my mom. But as far as like, you know, I also admire other stylists. Like, let me give a shout out to, I think Chucky Amos is an amazing hairstylist.
Chucky is amazing.
He is the most creative, like, hairstylist, and early in the business, I got a chance to like work with him and meet him, and I was like in awe. Olive Benson, I do like her business and what she's done. Someone just made, Floyd Kenyatta, yes. I remember seeing him at a show, and I was like, oh my God, he killed it. You know, he worked for Paul Mitchell. There's also Oscar James. I thought he was a great hairstylist as well. Serge Normand. God, what's his name? Oh, Danilo. Listen, I'm giving a little rockabilly now, Danny. This is a little natural rockabilly. Like Danilo was Gwen Stefani, you know.
Serge Normand was my first person. It was something that was on about the Victoria's Secret on TV, and it was like Serge Normand was with one of the models on there, and he was getting paid $10,000 a day.
Baby, that's good.
He was getting paid, and I was like, Mama, this man made $100,000 a week doing hair. I'm doing hair. That's what I did.
Right, exactly. Listen. So all in Orlando, Peter, there were so many really good, or Bay. There's so many great. I would look at their work and be like, oh wow, I can't wait to, you know, develop something like that. And I was just like, I was just in awe of what they could do. These are some really amazing. There's others too out there. There's another guy, I don't know, can't remember his name. Odile, she's a female, and she does runway. So I would look at a lot of their stuff, and I got their books, and I studied a lot of their, you know, their career, because I thought, they have great careers. And so I was blessed actually to even work side by side with some of them, you know, on projects, you know. I remember I did something, and Jennifer was using Orbay, and I was doing Beyonce. They did a commercial together, and I met him, and he was so nice. And Danilo, I did a CoverGirl commercial with Brandy, and he did someone else, and he was super nice. So early on, I met a lot of them. And Serge, I remember I almost gagged when I saw him. I was like, I want to just pass out. Because he's the big hair. You know, I love, you know, everybody know I love big hair. He does that big, fabulous hair like nobody else, you know. There's just so many. Rita Hazan, someone mentioned Rita Hazan. She's an amazing colorist. There's just so many great people in the industry, and I shout out to all of them, really. Because
the reason I asked you this is because a lot of these hairstylists don't even know nobody else. And it's like, how are you in this industry and not know who is doing what in the industry? Like, you have to know who is doing stuff. Like, you can't, no hate to all these Instagram people, but there are people that's actually shifting our industry that you know nothing about. Like, it baffled me, Kim, that one year, you was walking the show floor at Barney Brothers, Johnny Wright was on the show floor at Barney Brothers, Larry Sims on the show floor at Barney Brothers, and nobody, I was like, how are you people not clamoring over these people, and they're walking around here shopping like nothing, like everything is okay? That is not okay. I just was baffled.
It's
like,
baffling people. But they're missing out on some great talent too.
Yes, and the fact that you guys are open.
I have been on Instagram and seen some people do some amazing work that's new, and I think that's great. We are in a different time of different. People look like the new. Like I trip off my son. He doesn't watch television. He watches these little shows on YouTube, and I'm like, what is this? Like, it's like a show of pranking and then some girlfriend gold digging, and I'm like, what are y'all talking? I'm like, what is this? Doesn't even look that interesting. What is this? And he watches it all day, and I'm like, God, times have changed. People don't be out of their phones either. They just in their phones all the time.
So I got two more questions for you for this cutoff on us. One, when did you know about, this is a big question, about your worth? Like, knowing how much you're worth as a stylist, because it's like, I know there's levels to this all, but when it's time to get, like I said, when you said a day was good, when you're getting a $10,000 day rate, it's like, how do you even get that? I know you have agents and stuff to handle it, but just to know that that's what you demand. Like, when did you know and feel like, I demand this, this is what I'm worth, this is what I bring to the table? You know,
probably once I really started getting an agent, really more so, because I'm a giving person. I'll be like, I do it almost for free sometimes. Just because I'm like a nice person. I'm like, oh, I'll do it, you know. But but you know, I just started really, you know, listen, once you get tired of doing stuff for free and you want to get paid, you have to pay some bills, you start really, you know what, I got. But I guess what it is when I started educating myself and you see what you bring to the table, you start to understand your worth. And you got to always know your worth. Even as a person, you know, as a woman, you know, it takes some time. It took me a minute to figure that out. It didn't come overnight. I did know I was putting a lot into myself and into my work and what I'm doing. And I also always wanted to make the pressure of even asking for a lot of money gives you pressure to make sure you deliver. And when I was able to deliver and, you know, people, you know, things happen so fast. All of a sudden when I started doing Beyonce, things really changed. I started getting an influx of clients wanting to work with me and an influx of people, you know, trying to work with me. It just changed really overnight. But I actually thought my worth before then. You know what I mean? Because when I started in movies and television, and I learned how to negotiate then. Because I didn't have an agent when I started movies. And I just always do to ask for a little bit, you know, more, because this is the thing. You have to survive. You have to understand that. But you got to kind of see what's kind of going around you too. Like, what is the temperature of what to charge? It's always good to ask other people, because a lot of people have kind of made the industry kind of not so. I'd rather you lean on more, I'm worth it, than not.
Right.
Because you have a whole plethora of people behind you that's coming, and now our business is not as lucrative as it used to be. Like those $10,000 days. Those days left with Serge Normand and Danilo and all. They left with them. You know, people didn't know what to charge. I always recommend you get a mentor. You ask what to charge, because you're as worth as much as people are willing to pay for you, really. And so, you know, but it starts with you. You have to like command your worth. And you got to show yourself worthy. Because I said, listen, I'm on time. I'm here on time. I'm prepared. I made sure I was worth it. I educated myself. And so I felt comfortable charging, you know, a little bit more than the average hairstylist. I learned that in the salon. Every time I go take a class or I spend money on myself, I come back, my price go up a little bit. How I would do it though, is I would charge a new style. So I come back with a new look. So we're doing it different now. It costs a little bit more than that regular shampoo and blow dry. You know, I start somewhere. So I used to charge $20 for a shampoo press a curl when I first started. You know, that was quite some years ago though. But I was charging that, and it was low even then. But I felt like, you know, I want to build my clientele and I want people to come. What I would do is I would upcharge. So I learned how to build I try to give people, you know, more than what they are getting. You know what I mean? Right. That's always kind of been my thing. I want you to feel like, oh, it's worth it. I got every bit of what I paid for and more, you know? So I've always had that. So with that, you have to command a charge for it. Because you are putting in your time and your worth. I hope I didn't do that too long.
No, you're fine. No, we're fine. We're fine, actually. And I have one, so being a Black woman in this industry, because I look at you guys, I said that you guys are higher execs. Like, y'all like executive hairstylists. So being a Black woman in this industry, I know you've had the title of being the Black bitch. Oh, here she come again. All this kind of stuff. But did you find it hard trying to stand your ground? Did you not try to be that? Because you know how some women like, well, I don't want to be that, so I let things slide, and you get yourself caught up to this moment. But as a Black woman, standing up for yourself, like how did you do that for you?
Well, this is the thing. When I came, I had a lot of opposition in the beginning, because there was now it's a lot of Black people doing a lot of freelance and stuff like that. But they was always looking at me like, oh, she's a Black girl. She don't know what she's doing. Oh, she here because she related to somebody. I didn't have the respect coming in, you know, from other people, you know. They just didn't respect me. Who are you? You know, I didn't have the name, you know, certain people's name. So people were like, ooh, you know. So it took a minute. I had to get respect by my work. Once they started seeing that, it changed. But it took a while. Like, people didn't trust me. Magazines, they would be looking like, is she going to be able to pull this off? This is our cover of our magazine. You know, so the pressure was definitely there. And I understand their reluctancy, but I didn't like the fact people just automatically assumed I couldn't do it, or I was here because I came with her because I was related to her. No, that's not the fact. I actually earned it. I had already department headed films. I understand. I've done editorial. I understand what this is. They would actually literally be like, can you make sure it doesn't look like, oh, you want it like this? Oh, okay. Just tell me what you want. Like, you know. So, and I was trying not to be a bitch, but I had to be very like, okay, listen. Just tell me what you want. Don't look at me like I'm retarded and I don't know what I'm doing. So I had a lot of that. I'm not gonna lie. And then once it became a name, then people were like, oh, then it became easier. It was a struggle, but I understand. People don't know you. They don't know you. They don't know you. But I just didn't like people assuming that I couldn't do it because I'm a Black woman. And the other time I started getting a little respect because from the back, people thought I was Pat McGrath. They thought I was. They're like, is that Pat? No. Love Pat though. Some of Pat McGrath money, yes. But they were like, oh, I thought you was Pat. Because I used to wear my hair straight back then, you know. So, you know, she had the straight, you know, signature Pat straight hair. But, you know, listen, that's another one I admire her as well. She does makeup. She's a boss.
I know. I reached out to her. Hopefully she hit me back. I know she got a whole bunch of people on there, but I reached out.
No, she's doing her thing. I ain't mad at her.
Yes, she is. I reached out to Pat.
Excited. I got to work side by side with her on a fashion week we did in Paris with Zendaya and Law. We did the Paris Fashion Week, which was another great opportunity that I had. But I was more excited because Pat McGrath was doing it too. And I was like, ooh, I'm prepared. You know? I see now, that. Yes. She's great.
What advice would you give people that just want to step up to the next level? Like if they're hairstylists, makeup artists, or anything, they want to just take it to that next level. What advice would you give them?
Well, I would say is definitely try to find a mentor, somebody who will give you some knowledge, because you want to go in this and you want to learn. And that was the one thing. I didn't have a lot of people that were really open to sharing with me when I first came in. So I had to kind of learn, like fake it till you make it and learn like that. And a lot of makeup people would help me with stuff. But I would say that learn as much as you can, be knowledgeable. Like one thing I usually tell like people that work with me, when you go on jobs, listen more than you talk. Because in this industry, it's so funny, it's so interesting. You got to be careful what you say. Be careful how you know, no gossip. You know, don't sit up here and talk about other people. The less you say, the better you'll be. And if you're going to talk about their hair, talk about what you're going to do to them, but try not to just have all this conversation. I always kept boundaries. We're not friends. This is a business when it comes to me and my clients. We don't, you know, I have people that I am friendly with. But I will say, you know, you become too much friends, you're going to be doing hair for free all the time. You know, we went to a party. Girl, just give me some curls, honey, while we going out. You want to go with me? Yeah, come on, let's do my hair. And we go, nah. When the job was over, I got my life, you got yours. And for me, it worked out really nice. Now, some people don't agree with that. They like to be friends with their clients and hang out and go drink and do all that stuff. That's not my thing, because guess what? It's a business. Because they will tell you in a minute, oh, you get to go with me, so you got to do my hair for free. Girl. Because they will quickly put you in your place, honey. Quick. So we don't even do that. You know? We don't do
I'm
that.
with you on that.
We just understand it. Job, pay, bye, see you later. God bless you. On the next.
Kim, thank you for taking some time out to talk to me today. I can't wait till this all is over so we can get back together so we can see each other again.
And listen, if I have to do a movie in Atlanta, if you want to do it, I'm going to have to make up for that, because I didn't know you was mad at me. I don't know what happened. I don't even remember, but I'm sure. It was something. But the thing is,
but let me tell y'all something. But that's one thing I would say that happens in our Black community as general and then as hairstylists, because I could have easily been like, fuck Kim. I don't want to talk to her ever again. She's terrible. Da, 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 da. When all it was this misunderstanding, and if you just have a conversation, it's done. It's over with. So people, y'all, just conversate with people. If you feel like you have an issue, they might not even know. Kim ain't know what's going on. She don't know what's going on.
Who knows? I was probably stressed out doing whatever I was doing at that point.
Right.
You never know. I don't know what happened. I don't remember. Sometimes I put it in someone else's hands, you know?
But I love you. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I love you too. Listen, I love you before I even knew you. When I saw you on TV, I was like, hey, I love the pumps. I was like, hey.
Thank you, boo. So when it's all over, I'll make sure I'm gonna be in LA so we can see each other.
Yes, let's go have lunch. You know me, I'm the lunch girl. Or we go. Right. I'm the let's go eat girl, honey. And we ain't been in a restaurant in a minute either. Then you come to town, but yeah, let's go eat. Everybody knows when they come into LA, we going to eat. We going to Nobu. We going to Mastro. We going to Chris.
All the good stuff.
We hitting them all, baby.
Bye, baby. They went ready to cut us off. Bye, folks.
God bless. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Huh. I love Kim. I love her energy. I love all that. I see there's a lot of questions about the union and things of that nature. If y'all go to when I put a swipe up on my Instagram, on my YouTube page, there's conversations with Victor Jones, with Scotty Spencer, with it's so many people I've had these conversations with about getting into the union, and any question that you have in here can be answered on my YouTube page. All the other conversations that we had. So make sure y'all go check that out. In 1 hour, I will be cooking with She's Marianne. So if y'all have not got y'all cooking, y'all stuff together, you know, the grocery list is on my page. Go check that out and come and cook with us. Marcus Harvey will be with us. Thank you for being in here, my brother. But Marcus Harvey will be with me on Monday. Now, if y'all want to step y'all game up as a barber, make sure y'all be here because he making all the money. So yes, y'all want to hear from Marcus Harvey. He'll be with me on Monday. And I will see y'all back at 7 o'clock. So y'all have an hour to get to the grocery store if y'all don't got nothing. So check out the grocery list and get to the grocery store. All right. See y'all at 7.